Hi everybody, Nigel with you, Nigel's Modelling Bench. Welcome back to the channel, and here we are now, pack 36 of the Hachette Lancaster bomber. This is the Dambuster version, and if you look in the comments or the description below the video, you will see in there a link to a YouTube video where you can see the production or the development model finished on its stand all running, and you'll find out there how you can go about ordering one should you want to, if it's still available in your country. So here we go. So pack 36, we'll do as usual, we'll have a look at the magazine first. I'm going to turn the light off because it always makes it clearer to see. So we'll put our parts over there out of the way. I've literally just finished pack 35, so this is coming straight after. So here you can see the parts we've got going into the build, and then there's instructions. We've got some screws to go in and everything, so that's all cool. And then we're talking about Lancasters in action. So we've got B.III 308 was the first prototype of the Lancaster, assembled at Avro's experiment. I think that was the first prototype. I didn't know they still had the fin on the Lancaster. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. And there's a Canadian one there, fitted with American-built Packard Merlins. Number 617 Squadron attacks V2 sights. I wanted to get that when it was available from Tackham, and I missed out on it. Silly me. And bombed out flats in Limehouse, East London, following the explosion of the last German V2 rocket to fall on the city on 27th of March 45. Look at that. Devastation. Bombing the V2's eyewitness there. There was a huge dome of concrete with a hole in the middle. What we did was to fly at 500 feet intervals so that we would not get in each other's slipstream. We circled round, and as soon as the markers went down, we all turned in. We came in like the spokes of a wheel. All the bombs went down, and all you saw was this huge mushroom cloud over what had been the target. When we got back to base, the mosquitoes told us that it had been destroyed. Wow. Fairy battle. A lot of people speculate that Airfix's next 24 scale kit will be the Fairy battle. I can't see it. I don't think it would be a worldwide success for them. But it was a lovely looking little aircraft, wasn't it? Okay, and you can see in part 37 we're starting on the engine nacelles for the outboard engine. Engine number... starboard side of the second. I'm not sure if these engines... I'm not sure if this is 3 and 4 or 1 and 2 working. I think it's 3 and 4. So, as usual, we'll get into our build as we always do. We'll get our box open, we'll throw it on the floor ready for the recycling, and we'll get our bits out. So, what have we got here? Goodbye. And then we've got a bag here. We'll get this out of the way. We've got a bag here with parts. Get the bag over there. We've got some metal. Yeah, that frame is metal. Blimey. Don't know why. And then we've got some screws here. We've got some BB screws, or BP screws, sorry. BP screws, there we go. There we go, so we've got 3 of those, so there'll be 1 spare, so we can put that back in its packet, because that's what we do. We'll put that over there for a second. Right, so what have we got here? We've got the engine bearer, we've got a motor, we've got a bulkhead, we've got this motor mount, and then we've got 2 screws. Great, so let's have a look in here. So first thing we got to do is take the motor, extend the wires, get those out of the way, and we've got to put the wires through the back of the motor housing like so. Pull that up, and then that will go in like that. You can see it's keyed, so that will just push in there. So that's going to hold that in place. And then it says R here, so I'm assuming it's the right hand, so I'm assuming this is the port side. That is going to go onto there like that, and we're going to grab a little screwdriver. And this is plastic, so we're not tapping any threads today. I'm just going to start that one off. And just going to start that one off, just like so. Just like that. And then just like that. As you can see, that motor's held in nice and firmly, and do not ever tighten the screws to ensure the motor can spin correctly. So I'm not sure we can check how the motor can spin correctly. I'm guessing we can fit this onto here, which is the next job anyway. And we can see that we can easily spin the motor. So take the sheath 33i supplied with issue 33, that's that piece there. Note that one end is a D-shaped socket and the other is a shape to fit the cog on the motor. It needs it splined. Take the engine assembly from issue 33 and fit the sheath onto the D-shaped end of the shaft. If you've not already done so, fit the end of the sheath onto the top of the motor. At the same time, pegs on the bearers either side of the engine. Ensure the pegs are pushed fully home. File them down or enlarge the sockets if necessary. So what we're going to do first of all, we're going to put that in there, get that aligned on that motor. There we go, and then we can turn this around so that the engine bearer holes align, and then we can push it all together. I'm not quite sure what we can grip, but I'm not going to file any holes or anything because it's all going together lovely by the look of it. Yeah, that bloody thing's broken off again. It's very difficult because there's nothing really to push on. Now I'm not going to glue these because we may need some adjustment, left, right, up, down, whatever, and that will give us that adjustment if we don't glue that in place. We've got our motor hanging out the back there. So what we can do now, if we want to, is just quickly test. It looks like that supercharger has come apart. Yeah, that shaft has gone extremely tight. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on. We'll disconnect that. Yeah, that has gone extremely tight and I don't know why. I'll do an investigation. So if I plug that in, does the motor run? That's the first thing. I'll test the motor. Yes. That shaft's turning really freely, so I can only assume that what's happening is binding up. We've got a D-shaped pin going into a D-shaped hole. So if I do this with it not pushed fully home, no, it doesn't run. Oh, these bloody exhausts are breaking off now. Okay, so it turns the shaft, but it won't turn this front spindle. Right. So disconnect that and I'm going to find out what on earth is going on here. Okay, so I've been playing with it with the tester, but not really getting anywhere, to be honest. If I take the motor off, the motor runs, the shaft turns and everything. If I put a propeller on there, it gives it a bit of a sort of flywheel effect, so it sort of tries to keep going. As I say, I think the motors are going to get more than the 3 volts they're getting now. They're probably going to get 6 or maybe even 9 volts. So don't worry about it too much. You can see it's all turning freely. The propellers will give it. But what I have noticed is the propeller is very, very loose. So I don't know if they're going to have to give us new hubs or what, but you can see it won't stay on the shaft. Even an angle like that, you know, if I hold it, obviously it won't stay on like that, but if I hold it like this, it's like, you know, it won't stay on there at all. So don't know. So yeah, I think we'll have to wait and see, cross that bridge when we come to it. Like I say, I'm not gluing that that engine bearer into the firewall because it may all have to come apart again. And if it does, it does. I've glued that exhaust back on. Not that it matters because you're not going to see it. So there we are. So that's that done. Right, so take the oil tank, ensure the pegs are pushed fully home, file them down or enlarge the sockets as necessary. What I have noticed, if I push it back too tight, this will go sort of solid, so we may need to shorten that shaft a touch, I don't know. Take the oil tank assembly from issue 35 and fit into the support structure 36A. Enlarge the holes to get a good fit if necessary. So we've got a large pin, small pin, large hole, small hole, so that's going to go into there like so. Are we going to need to do any drilling or anything? It's extremely tight, but it is starting to go. Maybe I can lever the back of there in. Now it's extremely tight, so what we're going to have to do is get in there with something and lever that out. So we can take the oil tank away. I'm going to grab my calipers, and if you don't have any, I can measure it for you. As you can see, this is plastic, and what's happening again, we had this before, what's happening is it's pushing the plastic up. So as you push it in, the pin's getting bigger and bigger. Okay, so the pin is 2.13 and that's 1.7. So I know that this drill on here is 2 mil. So that's way big enough. It should go in easily. Should be the operative word. There we go. That took some doing. Because I scraped those bits of plastic away, as you push it in, it's kind of almost like rolling back a banana skin, and it's kind of getting bigger as you go in. But that's in there now, and I don't think that's going anywhere. But just in case, what we can do is put some of this thin black glue in there. That'll capillary down into the gaps around the pin. Just like so. Give that a few seconds. And then with the twist of a cotton bud, we can remove the excess just like that. There we are. Right, that's that done. And then we've got to fit this. So we get the motor upside down. Oh, that bloody exhaust has come off again. It's right out the bloody window, the thing. So that's going to push into the back of there like that. So that's our outer engine assembly. Okay, so I've got to glue this exhaust back on for the 49th time. I think that's it. This shows the bearer 36A in position. So that's it. So we've got to tie our wires up nice and neatly so they don't get in the way of everything, and go from there. So there we are, guys. That has been 36. 36? Yes, 36. What we will do 37 and 38 together, because we're going to put the nacelles on and cover it all up. So there we are, all done. Thank you for watching. I'm going to get this glue back on, and I will see you back for 37 and 38 whenever. Bye for now.